All right, everyone, welcome back to the CBB Review podcast. We have a special episode for you today. And no, this is not Matt speaking. This is Ariel Puterman. You may recognize me from some other pods, but I will be the host today as we do a little bit of Jeopardy. And I've got three contestants here to join me. We've got Dan Siegel, of course, you know him from the pod. We've got George, our SEC expert, and of course, Nick, who is also an SEC expert. So hopefully they can separate themselves in what should be a really fun episode today. So for all those who are unfamiliar, we have 5 categories in this first round, and then we have a second round, which is double Jeopardy. And then, of course, we'll end it with the final Jeopardy. Well, 3 episodes total. So we got today's episode. We've got another one with 3 other contestants. And then the winner of today's episode, the next episode, and the third highest score will face off in the finals. We've got a couple categories here, so I'll go over them for you guys. We got mid-major mascots, pretty self-explanatory. You'll have to name the team that the mascot is associated with. Familiar faces, new places. These are players who moved in the transfer portal this offseason. You have to name the player. CB families, some sort of family member that is a part of college basketball. So it could be brothers, cousins, father, son, everything like that. Fantastic freshman, of course. That was the main storyline of this year's college basketball season. So we'll highlight some of those. And then, of course, can you match the coach to the face? Do you know what these legendary coaches look like, or do you just know the names? So we'll start with those 3. Any questions, guys?
No.
All right, let's get started. Dan, why don't you kick us off?
All right, let's do mid-major mascots for 300.
All right, what is the University of Hawaii? What is the University of Hawaii one? Dan.
What are the Rainbow Warriors?
That is correct. 300 to Dan. Next question.
Right. Mid-major mascots for 4.
For 400 was Coastal Carolina. George.
Who are the Chanticleers?
Chanticleers is correct. A little bit of a tricky one, but seems like you got that one. George, what you got?
I'll go coach to face for 400.
All right. Who is this head coach?
Oh, wait.
Nick?
Oh, pass. Wait, I have no clue.
Pass. All right. Would anyone else like to guess? Nope. That would be the new Creighton head coach, Alan Huss.
I had a feeling, but
Nick, unfortunately, you're in the negatives. No one else loses any points.
you said legendary head coaches. That was my turnoff from guessing Alan Huss.
Yeah.
He's a legendary coach in the Big South community.
Fair enough.
All right, George.
I'll go same category for 300.
300. Who's this coach? Nick.
Who is Jay Lucas?
Jay Lucas is correct. Almost in the positives. Back to you.
I'll do fantastic freshman for 300.
Fantastic freshman for 300. Playing for a school that prioritizes academics over athletics. This player should have gotten more national attention after averaging 23.2 points per game, including a 40-point game against Georgia Tech in February. Any guesses?
This is ACC.
I'll give you 5 seconds. All right, I know some of you will want to kick yourselves. What is Ebuka Okori, the Stanford freshman?
Yeah.
With 40 points against Georgia Tech and one of the top scorers in all of college basketball.
The forgotten team in the ACC.
Yeah, I forgot they're in the ACC.
That's what the clue said, so. All right, George.
I'll go familiar faces for 2.
Familiar faces for 2. After playing just 10 games this season, this career 19-point per game scorer stays in Indiana to play for the Hoosiers. Nick.
Who is Marcus Burton?
Marcus Burton is correct.
Yep.
Nick is back in the positives, but still has a little bit to catch up.
I'll do mid-major mascots for 200.
Colorado State. George.
Who are the Rams?
Rams is correct. George with 200.
I'll go same category for 500.
All right, first 500. What is Presbyterian? Dan.
Who are the Blue Hose?
That is correct. Big 500 for Dan, and he takes the lead. Dan, what is your next pick?
We'll finish off the category for 100.
All right. For 100, University of Dayton. Nick.
Who are the Flyers?
Flyers is correct. All right. Back to you, Nick.
I'll do familiar places, new places. Familiar faces, new places, 300.
For 300, after missing out on countless transfers, Kentucky finally landed the speedy Big Ten guard. Nick.
Who is Zim Diallo?
Zoom Diallo is correct. 300 for Nick. Back to you, Nick.
I'll do familiar faces, new places, one for 100.
For 100, this former Duck heads east to join forces with Floyd Bedinga at this school. Nick.
Who is Jackson Shellstad?
Jackson Shellstad is correct at Louisville. I messed that one up, but you understood it. All right. George and Nick now tied for second.
Do familiar faces, new places for 400.
For 400, this talented center must not have read the winter forecast, moving from San Diego to Chicago. Nick.
Who is Magoon Guath?
That's correct. Going from San Diego State to DePaul. Excited to watch him next year as a Chicago resident. And Nick takes the lead after starting with negative 400.
I'll do same category for 500.
All right, let's round it out. After being ranked as the number one high school prospect at one point, this Calipari guard hopes to finally showcase this under new coach Buzz Williams. Any guesses?
I think Nick buzzed in.
Who is DJ Wagner?
DJ Wagner is correct. Nick swept the board.
Yeah, someone's dialed into the offseason.
Yeah. Great job by Nick there. What is your next pick?
I'll do fantastic freshman for 100.
For 100. This player surely made his dad proud, winning National Player of the Year. Dan.
Who is Cam Boozer?
Cam Boozer is correct. 900 for Dan.
All right, we'll stay on the category. We'll do 400.
For 400. This guard is from San Antonio, not Jamaica. Set the Big 12 on fire, scoring 42 points in a loss at Texas Tech and potentially earning himself a spot in the top 5 of the NBA draft. George.
Who is Kingston Flemings?
Kingston Flemings is correct. Big one for George right there to regain second place.
I'll go same category there for 500.
All right, for 500, this Big East freshman was a lone bright spot on a down year for his team, scoring 38 points in a conference game. Big East freshman. I know we got some SEC and ACC guys in here. Does anyone know the Big East, though? Give 5 more seconds. All right, the correct answer was Nigel James Jr., the Marquette guard. You will definitely know his name after this season. He's got a big one ahead of him. All right, George, back to you.
I'll go with the last clue in that category.
All righty. This 150 ranked player out of high school proved every scout wrong, leading his team to a Final Four appearance. Nick.
Who is Keaton Wagler?
Keaton Wagler is correct, from Illinois. What a season he had. All right, 2 more categories to go.
I'll do CBB families for 100.
For 100, these 2 coaches suffered opposite fates this season, with one making the championship game, the other one losing his job. George.
Who are Dan and Bobby Hurley?
Dan Bobby Hurley is correct. And for this, you'll have to name both of them just as a heads up.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll go
George.
coach to face for 100.
100. Who is this coach? Nick.
Who is Dusty May?
That is Dusty May. Surprised we only got 1 buzz in there.
Yeah. I'll do CBB families for 200.
For 200. This Hall of Fame coach earned career number 900 after beating his son on January 24th. Dan.
Who is Rick Pitino?
And who's the other one?
Oh, who is Rick and Richard Pitino?
That is correct. Rick and Richard. What a moment that was. They almost actually lost that game, but St. John's had a great comeback at the end to earn number 900 for Rick.
We'll do 300 for CBB families.
These brothers joined forces in Champaign, showing Americans what Croatian basketball has to offer. Remember, this is all forms, Dan.
Yeah, who are the Ivasiches?
Can you give me their first names?
Zvonimir and Tomislav.
That is correct. Tomislav and Zvonimir Ivasic. Dan, back into second.
All right. We'll go 400 in that category.
400. A surprising fact to most, these half-brothers duked it out in mid-major conference play all year long and both earned a spot in the NCAA tournament. Two mid-major coaches, half-brothers. If you don't know this, it's going to be a nice little fun fact to take home after this episode. I'll give you 5 seconds. All right. This is John Gross, who the former Akron coach, now the new coach of Charleston, and Travis Steele, of course, of Miami, Ohio. Fun fact, they're half brothers, so it's cool to see them duke it out the last couple of years. A little bit of family rivalry there. All right, we got 3 questions left. Dan, I believe it's you.
Yeah, it'll be back to me. I'll go 500 in families.
All right, let's round it out. The second-year ASUN coach led his team to regular season title while his nephew made some noise himself, beating UNLV and Bradley as 15-plus point underdogs in 2 of the first 3 games of the season.
I know one of the coaches. Just don't know the other one's name.
Fortunately, we won't be giving half credit.
Yeah.
It is worth the risk for 500 points of guessing one of them wrong. I'm guessing George and Nick, you guys agree, so I'm going to give the answer here. It'll be, of course, Jeremy, who is the coach at Central Arkansas, Jeremy is the coach at UT Martin, and John Schulman, the Central Arkansas coach. Great seasons for both of them. All right, last category.
All right, back to me again. 200, match the fate, coach the face.
All right, who is this coach? George.
Who is Rick Barnes?
That is Rick Barnes. 1,300 for George, and let's round it out here. Who is this coach?
Oh.
Power 5 coach. I'll give you that hint.
Oh.
Trying to look at that badge.
Yeah, doing a little bit harder, but I try to keep
don't
0
know his name.
context clues. Would anyone like to try it? All right. You guys are going to kick yourselves for this one, but this is Randy Bennett.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Power. Yeah, now he is. Yeah.
And that'll wrap up round 1. Let's look at a quick standings update. We've got Nick in first place with 1,800, followed by Dan with 1,400 and George with 1,300. So still anyone's game, and we'll get to Double Jeopardy in a second after this break. All right, we are back for Double Jeopardy. So only difference here is, of course, the new categories. But as you can see, the point values have doubled. 100 becomes 200, 200 become 400, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to look at some new categories this time, starting with NBA alumni. I'm going to give a couple players, and you have to name what school they went to. Mid-major logos, pretty self-explanatory. Coaches back for more. These are coaches who return to their alma maters to coach, past and present. Name the analytical tool. I'll be showing a picture of the homepage of some of the most popular CBB analytical tools. And then, of course, college basketball mascots. You'll have to name the mascot and what school it belonged to. So with all that being said, let's get started with Double Jeopardy. Nick, since you're in first, why don't you start us off?
All right, I'll do NBA alumni for 200.
NBA alumni for 200. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, DeMarcus Cousins, and Tyrese Maxey. George.
What is Kentucky?
Kentucky is correct. A lot of options to choose from there.
I'll go same category for 600.
600. Jerry West, Javon Carter, and Miles McBride. George.
What is West Virginia?
West Virginia is correct. The logo went there.
I'll go same category for 800.
800. Steve Nash, Jalen Williams, and Brandon Podshensky. Excuse me, George.
What is Santa Clara?
Santa Clara is correct. George taking a huge lead here thanks to the Double Jeopardy.
I'll go analytical tool 200.
Analytical tools. Didn't want to close it out. What is this site called, Nick?
What is KenPom?
Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. It is KenPom, the most famous of them all.
I'll do mid-major logos 200.
200. What is this logo? George.
What is Memphis?
That is Memphis. 3,100 for George. Huge lead right now. Dan, got to step it up.
I'm slow with the buzzer, man. My fingers are slow.
I'll go alumni for 1,000.
Alumni for 1,000. Big swing here. You got Wes Unseld, Junior Bridgman, and Daryl Griffith. Try to throw in some older players, but legends nonetheless for this 1,000 question. Anyone want to test their luck? All right. I think the one you might have known a little better was Donovan Mitchell because these are Louisville University alumni. No one gets the 1,000. Back to you.
I'll go finish out the category.
All right. NBA alumni for 400. Trae Young, Buddy Hield, and Blake Griffin. Nick.
What is Oklahoma?
That is Oklahoma Sooners. 2,400 for Nick.
I'll do coaches back for more 200.
This coach helped his team win a national championship in 1996, but has gotten some heat from his fans after missing out on countless portal players this offseason. George.
Who is Mark Pope?
That is Mark Pope. No, I think he responded pretty nicely, but still a long way to go.
I'll go mid-major 400.
What is this logo? Dan.
What is Richmond?
That is Richmond. Dan on the board in the double Jeopardy round. Back to you.
All right, let's go 600. Mid-major.
What is this logo? George.
What is Murray State?
That is Murray State. Barely beating Dan. Less than half a millisecond. That just shows how close these things are.
I'll go analytical tool 400.
What is this tool called? Nick.
The NCAA net rankings.
Oh, well, I guess I did give it away. So good catch right there. And that's my fault. All right.
I'll do mascots for 200.
Mascots for 200. What is this mascot? Dan.
What is the Jayhawk?
That is the Kansas Jayhawk. My favorite mascot of them all. Totally biased.
We'll go analytical tool 600.
600. What is this analytical tool called? Dan.
The best one. What is Bart Torvik?
That is Bart Torvik. Big fan favorite here. Dan getting close to Nick for second place.
We'll go analytical 800.
For 800, what is this one called? Dan.
Not positive here, but what is Evan Mia?
That is Evan Mia. Huge boost right there, and he's within crawling distance of George now.
All right, let's finish it out because I'm doing so well here.
All right, for 1,000, what is this? No guesses. Dan.
What is Haslametrics?
It is Haslametrics. What a swing from last to first. Thank you to the analytical tools and all the nerds out there. All right, Dan.
We'll go back into mid-major logos 800.
For 800, what is this one? George.
What is Sacramento State?
That is Sacramento State. And just like that, George is in the lead. Speaking of teams that didn't get leads, Sacramento State 0 wins away from home this season. Pretty surprising.
I'll finish out the category there.
All right, for 1,000, what is this logo? George.
What is Florida A&M?
That's correct. Florida A&M. Good pull right there. And a commanding lead for George. Just a few questions to go.
I'll go coaches for 400.
Coaches for 400. A legend for this program and the Knicks. His coaching career is the opposite, finishing 13-50 in his final 2 years with this Big East team. Dan.
I'm naming the team or the play or the coach?
The coach.
Okay, who is Patrick Ewing?
That is Patrick Ewing. Less than ideal. Ed Cooley hasn't been much better, though.
I'll go 600.
600. One of the weirdest coaching stints ever. This coach won the national championship in 2014 in the second season, then would proceed to go 0-18 just 4 seasons later. George.
Who is Kevin Ollie?
That is Kevin Ollie. What a legend, champion, and then 0-18 in just 4 seasons. But that's college basketball.
I'll go 800, same category.
No coach was robbed by COVID of a career-defining season more than him, and has seemed to be on the hot seat ever since. Nick.
Who is Anthony Grant?
That is Anthony Grant, the Dayton head coach. And what a season that was with Obi Toppin and them. It's a shame that they weren't able to experience the tournament that year.
We'll do coaches back for more for 1,000.
1,000. This brainy coach led his team to a Sweet 16 as a 15 seed 4 seasons ago, but has only made 2 tournament appearances in 14 years after making 3 straight as a player. This is a tough one, but that's what the 1,000s are for. Any guesses? Does the brainy give it away? I guess the answer is no. The answer is Mitch Henderson, the Princeton head coach. Made 3 tournaments as a player and the Sweet 16 a couple years ago, but hasn't had much success outside
4 years
of that.
ago threw me off.
I was hoping one of you guys would try like a Paul Mills or something like that, but
My brainy, I was thinking like Shaka Smart, then like that has nothing to do with that clue. So
Yeah.
yeah, wrong direction there.
all right. Final category, mascots. I believe George, was it you?
Yeah.
Oh, word. I'll do 400.
400. What is this mascot? Nick.
What is the UCF Knights?
The UCF Knight is correct. A little bit of room to go for Nick, but remember, it all comes down to Final Jeopardy.
Do mascots for 600.
For 600, what is this guy's name? George.
Is that the Providence Friar?
Friar Dom, but I'll count it.
Word.
6,900 for George. It's taking a commanding lead in this one.
I'll go 800.
For 800, who is this guy? Dan.
Who is the St. Joseph's Hawk?
Is the Hawk of St. Joe's. Has to flap his wings the entire game. I love the stats around it. The final question of Double Jeopardy. What is this mascot? Nick.
What is the Stanford tree? Oh,
It is the Stanford tree. Huge
Wow.
one right there for Nick to stay back into it. Scary mascot too, especially for a team named the Cardinal. All right, that is all we have for Jeopardy. Now it comes down to the final Jeopardy, and we will be right back to get to that. All right, it is time for Final Jeopardy. This is where winners and losers are decided. Just a score update from everyone. We've got Dan with 5,600, George with a commanding lead at 6,900, and then Nick in last right now at 5,000. But that could all change with this question. Just a reminder how this works. I will read a question relating to college basketball. I will give each person 45 seconds to think about it, provide a wager, and then hopefully get it right. If they get it right, then they will make however much that wager was. If they don't, then they lose that. So without further ado, are you guys ready for your final question? All right. So in the round of 32 and beyond, how many games in this year's tournament did a team with a lower seed win? I'll say it again. In the round of 32 and beyond this year, so 32, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, championship game, how many games in this tournament did a team with a lower seed win? Your 45 seconds begins now. Maybe not the most chaotic tournament ever, but definitely a couple lower seeds winning. The question is, which ones were they? And then there's the close ones, the 4-5s, the 8-9s. Of course, that's the first round, but those similar seeds, which one was on which side? All those things to remember. I'll give you one free one. We all remember Iowa beat Florida, the 9 seed, the 1 seed. By far the biggest upset. We, of course, knew High Point beat Wisconsin the first round. That won't count, but they were the lowest seed to make it, and they gave Arkansas a battle. So really exciting tournament, I think. I know a lot of people had mixed views on that. And with all that, your time is up. Dan, what is your answer, and what is your wager?
All right, I will wager. I'll wager 1,300. 1,300 is my wager, and my guess is 5.
5. I'll wait till the end to say the answers. So, Nick, why don't you give your answer first and your wager?
I'll wager 200, and my guess is 7.
7. All right, going with a safe pick, and then George, round us out.
I put 5 as well, and my wager of 1,000.
All right. Well, unfortunately, everyone got it wrong. The answer was
I knew
8.
it.
So Nick was close, but the answer, we had 5 seed St. John's over 4 seed Kansas. The one I just mentioned, 9 seed Iowa over 1 seed Florida, 6 seed Tennessee over 3 seed Virginia, 11 seed Texas over 3 seed Gonzaga, number 9 seed Iowa over 4 seed Nebraska, 3 seed Illinois over 2 seed Houston. That was a tricky one.
Yeah.
6 seed Tennessee over 2 seed Iowa State, and then, of course, the 2 seed UConn over 1 seed Duke. So just a reminder, Dan, how much did you wager?
1,300.
So that leaves you with 4,300. Nick, you only wagered
200.
200. So that leaves you at 4,800. And then George, remind me how much you wagered?
1,000.
1,000. That leaves you at 5,900. And the winner of this episode, congratulations, George. You've advanced to the final round, which we will film at a later date. And then we will see if Nick has enough points to make it as well. Dan, unfortunately, that final Jeopardy was the end for you. But thanks a lot for playing. I hope everyone had fun, and we will see you soon. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on all our socials, and make sure to check out our other Jeopardy episodes. Thank you, everyone.